For people who haven't been tracking your journey along the way, how can you share some stats? How big are you guys? Who is using you?
Yeah, so we have low thousands of customers. So we're not, we're not like a Lovable or a Bolt or a V0, but we have material traction. Our lane in the market is we are trying to be the most intuitive, easiest to use product for less technical audiences. So that means less technical folks at technology companies. And by less technical, I mean people who aren't comfortable writing a ton of code. So that's marketers, PMs, support people, salespeople, HR operations. Roughly half of our customers are non-technical roles at technology companies. And then roughly half of our customers are real world non-technical businesses, real estate, lawyers, we have contractors, we have dry ice salesmen, we have professional basketball teams, we have carbonated beverage manufacturers. Like there's quite a long tail of real world small and medium businesses. So we lean small and medium business. We lean towards a less technical audience, whereas N8N, for example, really emphasizes it's the tool for technical people who know their way around a JSON object or an HTTP request. And so if that's you, you should totally pick N8N. But if you want a simple, easy to use, intuitive way to get started and build the workflows that we showed, that's what we aim for Relay.app to be.
Okay. And are you fundraising? How are you building this thing?
So we raised a seed round of $8.8 million that was co-led by Coastal Ventures and Andreessen Horowitz. Coastal Ventures was the VC that backed my previous company, and then I met Andreessen Horowitz along the way. And our current plan is to become profitable and just run a great business. The reason I say that is I currently don't feel like we're capital constrained with anything that we're trying to do. We have a very small team. We're 10 people, 6 engineers, 2 designers, a product manager, and myself. And even though my background is in product, I'm doing essentially everything but product at the company: marketing, support, sales, HR, finance, operations, etc. And here's my claim. We're going to see way smaller teams in the future than we saw in the past. We're already seeing this trend right now. And, we're at thousands of customers now with 10 people. I can totally see us getting to tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of customers with the exact same headcount. Maybe one more engineer, maybe one person to coordinate all of our support agents, but I see no reason why we need to be a 30-person team or a 100-person team because, my experience, I worked at Google for many years, and my experience of working at Google was things are hard not because there's a lot of absolute work to be done, but because there's a lot of people that need to agree to get anything done. And
Yeah.
so our current plan is to just and when I say we want to be profitable and not raise future funding, that doesn't mean that we have a lack of ambition. Like I want to build a ubiquitous product that's used by millions and millions of people. I just don't feel like capital is the constraint that's stopping us from doing that on our own. We just need to do hardcore product work for the next several years with a small, really motivated team, and then figure out how to speak about it effectively and market it to the world.
Because some of your competitors, they are fundraising a lot more. How do you think about that? Does that add pressure to it?
It's something I go back and forth on in my mind. I'm always happy when I see a competitor fundraise. It's like, and I'm happy for 2 reasons. One is because it's validation that the space is important and that we're competing in an area that matters, because it means that so for example, N8N just raised a huge round at a $2.3 billion valuation. Lindy has raised at a big valuation. Gumloop recently raised a Series A. Relevance AI recently raised a Series A. Cassidy recently raised a Series A. Wordware raised a huge seed round coming out of YC. I see all of that as the only thing I read from that is there's evidence that this is a really compelling and exciting space, which is the place that I want to be. I don't want to be competing, or I don't want to be around the fringes where there's no one else competing. Like I want to compete with the best for a market that matters. So that's one interpretation. And the second interpretation is it also helps me reinforce the lane that makes sense for us. So we are not going to win today by hiring the biggest enterprise sales force. That's not our strategy. That's not what we're trying to do. We are trying to win by building the most intuitive, simplest, and easy to use product. And I'm curious to hear your experience. In my experience, I've never seen a bigger team build a simpler or more intuitive product. I've seen bigger teams build more features and more go-to-market motions and spend more money on ads. And so for me, our difference in fundraising strategy is also informed by our difference in product strategy, which is, for me, I saw this tweet that really bugged me. It was from a founder who was like, I want to prove I can build a great company without VC money, just like people proved that they could climb Everest without having oxygen. I don't think that's the right mindset. Like, building a startup is hard enough. Like, we don't need to make it any harder just to like show how tough we are. That's not the reason we don't want to raise money. It's not because I want to prove that I can climb Everest without oxygen. I just think for our particular strategy to maintain the most intuitive, easiest to use product, keeping a small product team is like the best way to achieve that goal. We're not depriving ourselves of oxygen. We're giving ourselves the right kind of oxygen, if that makes sense.
And you mentioned it is such a red hot space. It is on the fringes. For people who haven't really grokked it, and actually, I polled my community 2 weeks ago
Yeah.
now, and I asked them, how many of you have built an AI agent? 2% of them had.
Yeah.
So even amongst
I
PMs who
know
are reading AI
it's
PM
so early, but
content.
let me make my best bull case for this market. I've worked on productivity tools my whole career. Productivity tools my whole career were a place where you go to click buttons to do your day job. You go to Gmail, you click some buttons and you send some emails. You go to Salesforce and you click some buttons and you update some opportunities. You go to Google Docs and you type some buttons and then a PRD comes out. A productivity tool was always just like an interface in which you clicked buttons to do things. And yes, AI-powered productivity tools are really cool. ChatGPT is a place where you go and click buttons and oh my God, it's AI-powered. So the results that come back are like pretty phenomenal and amazing. And Copilot experiences, whether it's Lovable or the Cursor Autocomplete or Grammarly, are amazing because you're in this canvas of your IDE and now you have this coding assistant that helps you write faster. But fundamentally, you are still going to a place and clicking those buttons. An AI agent is working for you automatically behind the scenes. This is the first time we've achieved a technology that is like actually equivalent to hiring someone. Like I am our entire marketing team. And you see me on LinkedIn, you see me running webinars, you see me sending emails to our newsletter, you see me doing customer support. Like there's no way I could do all of this if I didn't have my AI team behind me. We would probably need a 4 or 5 or maybe even 10 full-time team to do this. And so I don't think that has quite clicked in people's mind how big the opportunity is. Like we are finally taking the leap from being a nicer environment to go click buttons to something that actually does work on your behalf. And it's hard. Like it's a mental leap to figure out like, what is the job description for this AI agent? How do I give the AI agent the training that it needs? How do I give it the instructions that I need? And I think there's a lot of people that are professionally overcomplicating building AI agents. And so one of my goals in showing you the Reddit listener that we built in 5 minutes is like, it's not as hard as people think. Like if you have some basic skills with ChatGPT and you've built some basic workflows in Zapier at some point in your career, you have all the tools you need to build your first 1, 2, 5, 10, 100. I have about 250 AI agents working on my behalf right now. And so that's why I think like we're still very much in the visionary phase of the market from a customer adoption perspective. But like as soon as we hit the early majority, it's gonna start to explode. My hope and prediction.